All right, Junkie Nation. Gorgeous Georgian goes delivering another MMA superstar. This time it's former UFC lightweight champion and former welterweight contender, Rafael dos Anjos, also known as RDA. What's going on, RDA? How are you?
How are you, man? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us here. Always a pleasure. You know, it kind of snuck up on us. We didn't know some people didn't even know till weigh-in day. Some people knew on fight week that you were going to be, I guess, the insurance policy maybe, I don't know what you want to call it, for the main event at UFC 264. How long did you know? How long did you train for that?
Yeah, I was in Brazil. I got my surgery 4 months ago. And it came like really handy for me because I was there like recovering, and it was good for me that I set that goal for July 10th, and like everything it confirmed it to me like on the past 3 weeks. I got the call. I saw that Dana White was looking for a replacement for that fight, and I offered myself, and my manager got in touch with Sean Shelby, and on the last 3 weeks, and they start like booking flights for my coaches, and I say, yeah, it's going to happen. But like 2 months ago, I already have that date set on my mind, that I visualized that, so it was good for me. So I got ready and I made weight. For me, that 4 months ago I was on the surgery room, and 4 months later I was, I'm here, like I made weight and I'm in shape, I'm fit. So that was good for me. That was a good thing for me to put in mind, and a good goal to reach.
It all sounds so positive, and if you say it, we believe you. But I've always wondered, in the end, if it does come to be that you have to face one of the two guys, can you look yourself in the mirror before the fight, during the fight, after the fight, and go, man, that was the best RDA, that showed up, versus when you really know that you're fighting somebody, not maybe Poirier, maybe McGregor. You know what I mean? It seems so like confusing, and I don't know if the 100% motivation's there.
What do you mean for the last fight?
Yeah, for this fight, if you had to fight one or the other, would it have been the best RDA going in there against either Poirier or McGregor, like the way you've competed when you fought for titles and everything?
Yeah, I was in shape. Of course, I didn't got the time the timing for training that I actually need, but like it was good for me because I set that goal, that that I have to be in shape, and I had maybe 2 or 3 sparring sessions, and but like definitely what I will not be on my 100%. But that would be a big chance for me, like to fight to get on the replacement for that fight. It's a huge fight, Poirier versus Conor, and I took the chance, I took the opportunity. They offered it to me, and they accept my offer as well, and it would be a good payday for me. And I say, okay, let's do it. I will not be on my 100%. Will not be the ideal camp for me because, like I said, I was 4 months ago. I was on the surgery room, but it was good. It was good for me to be there, to have that feeling again. My last fight was in November, and it was good for me to have that feeling, to be there on fight week, cutting weight, and to fill it up was really good for me.
Okay, I completely understand now. You set a goal, you matched it, you also made sure that they compensated for you, and you felt like the risk was worth the reward at the very end if you had to fight.
Of course, yes. I thought, especially for that big fight, man, and to see what after the fight, I'm pretty sure I could, no disrespect to any of those guys, but I'm pretty sure I could beat both of them. And even though I don't have like the full training camp that I would like to, because I was doing pretty much a lot of conditioning. I didn't have much like timing, like sparring time and stuff like that. But what I saw, man, I definitely I'm sure I can beat both of those guys.
I imagine those guys know as well that you're the replacement in case something happens. They let them know that RDA is training as well, right?
Probably yes. Before they get me the confirmation, before they gave me the yes, okay, you are there. I'm sure they got in touch with them before we finally signed papers.
Would you do it again, or do you feel like now, hey, look, just give me an opponent. I want to focus on my title run.
Yeah, now is for that specific fight that was a different case. It was a big fight. Would be a good payday, and but now on, I'm gonna take like a week off. I'm going camp. I'm on my trailer right now. I'm going camp with my family, but definitely now I want a time for training. I wanna do the whole fight camp because it was a pretty odd situation for me being on the fight week, not knowing that if I'm going to fight or not, who I'm going to fight. But what's good? What's good to be there to feel it all. Like to cut the weight, see that what I'm doing. My weight cut's been really good right now, and I feel healthy, feel good, and even like after all those wars, all those fights, I still feel that I have a lot on my tank.
Rafael, so is that important when, because you still trained, you still did all the cardio, all that, the preparation, you still did the weight cut. Your body has to kind of relax for a little bit, right? Does it almost feel like, even though you didn't fight, do you feel very similar to how you would feel after the fight, not wanting to have another weight cut very close? Like, do you need to take a specific amount of time off?
Yeah, I was speaking to my doctors. With my doctor, she said she want me to take maybe 30 days off before like start on another fight camp. It means like I still can train, but she doesn't want me to put my body under stress on the next 30 days. So I'm still training. I trained this morning. I lift some weights, and that's what I do, man. I do that 24/7. You know, uh, 365 days a year. So I just train it. I live for that, and yeah, but it's different because I still feel like a lot of adrenaline. I cut the weight, and it was good for me because now I want to fight. I want to to have that that feeling again. So I can't wait to be back on the octagon. I'm targeting end of September, beginning of October. So we're gonna start looking for the opponents for the next week or so.
As I was watching the fight, there were moments where, especially when Dustin Poirier was on top, that I couldn't stop but thinking RDA could do this as well, and maybe even worse. When you were preparing for Conor McGregor in your mind, did you kind of envision if you were the one to fight that fight would probably look somewhat similar to the way it played out?
It will look way worse. I think my ground game is way more powerful than Poirier's. I would be way different. And Connor, he looks so sloppy. He looks so small. I met him on the Wednesday, and we have a small altercation on the back room. And he looks so small. He looks so he's looked like a little boy. So I'll smash that guy.
Being around the fight game as long as you have been, are there certain things, being around Conor McGregor, being around Dustin Poirier, just seeing them interact and all that, could you kind of tell in which direction that fight was going to go just based off of the way they were acting?
Yeah, I could see on the Wednesday that Connor, he was so unfocused. He spent too much energy doing other stuff. At the same time he's cutting weight. He trying to act and he trying to play tough, and it's just waste of energy. It's bad for him. I could see on his eyes that he was so unfocused. And then after I met him on the back room, I knew he's gonna lose.
You mentioned the altercation in the back, and we saw a little bit of an on embedded, but you mentioned almost seemed like a sneak attack. What do you mean like that? Was he getting closer to you and your back was towards him, or what was that like?
Yeah, it was. I had just made weight, and I saw him walk in, and he went to the medicals, and I was facing the cage, and there was a hallway behind me, but I was looking at him like I knew he went to the medicals, and by the time I saw him come, walking towards me, I kind of saw him in the corner of my eyes, and I kept watching him. I know he would try something stupid, and instead of take the right and go out of the building, that what he's supposed to do, he started like walking towards me, and I kind of look at me, and he kept, I kind of look back and look at him. He kind of walked from behind and started like staring at me, and then I stood up and said, what are you staring at me, man? And he goes, they start screaming, and that everything you guys saw on embedded, but he's supposed to take the right and go out of the building, but kind of he's sneaking, he was trying to do something stupid, maybe, slap me on the head or do something stupid. He knew the security would break apart, but he was there. He definitely sneaked from behind.
A lot of times you fighters usually have nice things to say about each other after a fight, but you got a lot of support for a tweet that you put, and I think rightfully so, because he obviously addressed the foot injury that you guys, that prevented you from fighting years ago, and you basically said, hey, be humble, because he now encountered an injury, a leg injury, but near the foot. When you put that, like, were you feeling like this was a karma situation? You think it was still holdover anger from the, from the altercation? What made you do that, I guess?
I mean, I don't believe in karma, I just, I don't want anything bad for him. I wish him a speedy recovery, but I had to do that. I had to do that. People still making, fun with my injury, that's what's, bugging me a lot, because people make injury fun of somebody's injury, man. And I didn't make fun of his injury. I just show, because it's a combat sport. We punch each other, not only in training, not only during the fight, but in training as well. And I broke my foot, man. I was on cast for 6 weeks. So when this guy made fun of me, and all his fans, all his supporters making fun with me, for years, and now he takes his own medicine, because even like Friday on the weigh-ins, he said the same thing. Say, hey, you duck me with a sore foot, blah blah blah. He said the same thing on Friday too. He said that Justin Poirier would leave the cage on a stretcher, and look how things happen. He left on a stretcher with a broken foot. So he said his own thing, man. He says his own venom and his own medicine, and that's it, man. But I wish him a speedy recovery. But that's why he got, by talking too much.
I gotta admit, it was clever, it was tactful, and it was a little bit of, I guess, medicine, like you said. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, said, at least the people that I know said, touche, RDA. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw his coaches, Kavana, I think. He wrapped his foot around the elbow. Yeah, I know what it is. I wrapped my foot around somebody's knee too. So I broke my foot, man. That happened. I got 43 professional fights on my whole career, and I always made weight, and I missed one fight against Conor because of injury, and these people still like making fun. So now, they're tasting their own medicine.
Yeah. RDA, let me ask you something. You mentioned either late September, which there is a Vegas pay-per-view in late September, or maybe October, where there's a rumor of maybe back in Abu Dhabi. Any names? I'd love to see you versus Gaethje. I'd love to see you versus Chandler. you guys are all big names, former champions. You know what I mean? Do any of those names appeal to you, or is there another one?
Yeah, I was looking for Chandler would be a good fight, but he only want to fight in December. I can't wait that long. I don't want to wait for December. Gagey, I don't get it. He want to fight for the title again, and he just lost a title fight. So it's kind of hard to me to understand that. So if you lost a title fight, so how come you want to fight for the title again? But looks like Poirier is going for the title. So Gage would be a good fight for me. Who else? I think Tony's there too, ahead of me on the rankings, and would be a good fight. So I could avenge that loss that I had for him. So that's a lot of possibilities. So we'll see how this whole thing is going to play out. So I want to fight September, October. So, but we'll see. We're gonna try to get one of these guys.
Those are all great names. Any one of them will do. Let me ask you two last ones, quick ones. In Brazil, you said you were there about 6 weeks ago, and I remember looking at a picture of you under these beautiful waterfalls. Where was that, man? That looked like a great place to recover, relax, unplug from the world.
Yeah, man, that was the place called Aldeia Velha. That place, I usually go to that place probably 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Yeah, I was going to that place a lot of times, but yeah, and I decided to go back on that place, and that was a great idea, man. I took one of my cousins, and I jumped on my car, and I drove there. It was a beautiful scene, and I did some off-roading over there. Was really fun, man. It was really fun. Looking forward to go back to that place.
Well, don't wait 30 years this time, because that looks like a cool place, you know. So get back.
No. I'll be in Brazil more often now. You know, I'm probably gonna do all my camps over there with André Pederneiras. I really enjoy training with him. He got a great group of guys and make me feel like my old days in Brazil again. You know, I think after have that long career that I have, and we need to find things to keep us motivated. And I think being there with a bunch of new guys, like hungry, you know, guys that are struggling a lot financially, and see people, you know, I see myself on their shoes, you know, for many times. As you know, it's good to see like where I am now and where I came from, and wake up every day, go to the favelas, get training, and go back home. And it was a good feeling, and looking forward to be back in Rio again.
How do you say RDA in Portuguese?
RDA.
Do they call you that in Brazil, or only us Americans call you that?
Yeah. A lot of Brazilians call me RDA too, man. It's
RDA.
Yeah. A lot of Brazilians call me RDA too.
So JDS would be well, how do you say J? Because I don't want to say something.
JDS.
I was going to say Jota, but man, it sounds too close to a word in Spanish, and I didn't want to get in trouble. All right, last question. Where are you going camping? I'm just curious. You live in California, right? You go to national parks, lakes, beaches. Where do you go?
Yeah, so I got my trailer. I have an Airstream, and I'm taking my family. My manager, Giovanni, is here with me, with his family as well. So we're heading north, probably Mammoth or Lake Tahoe.
Oh, nice.
And yeah. We got a camp over there. We got a camp in Tahoe for the next week, for this week actually. But like, I usually I take my time, and I start stopping along the way. You know, I probably stop in Mammoth for a couple of days, and it'll be fun. I'm leaving tonight.
You camping or glamping?
Yeah, see, I'm on my trailer now. See, it's
woo, that's nice.
A glamping, you know.
A little bit. Yeah.
I have a rooftop tent on on my truck. You know,
Yeah.
that I like to go, and I go off-roading, and I stay like overnight.
That's
But
cool.
with my wife and my family, my baby, so we like to have a little more comfort.
Yeah, I understand. All right. Well, listen, man, you deserve it. That's a beautiful thing you're doing for your family. All the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears, you know, for the last 20 years, I'm sure. And you can now do these things for your family. That's awesome. I hope you guys have a great time in Lake Tahoe, Mammoth, or anywhere you go along the way. I'm very familiar with that area. It's a good spot.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate the time. Thank you very much for spending some time with us here. It's been a while, but we appreciate it as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you. Take care, guys.